Rennie at a lodge sure picked a bad time to stop talking to white people about race. Rennie is, if you're on the college book circuit, she's pretty well known. People know who she is. So she wrote a couple years ago, she decided, well, you know what? White people just aren't listening to us anymore. They keep asking me stupid questions like, why are black people committing so much crime? Why is there so much violence? Why do black people do so poorly in school and academics? Why are they kicked out of school so much? Why do reporters, public officials, and lots of other people like Rennie at a lodge refuse to acknowledge that? So she kept getting those questions, and finally she got so pissed off, she said, listen, I'm just not going to talk to white people anymore. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
My name is Rennie Edo Lodge. I'm a journalist and I am the author of the new book, Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. About 3.5 years ago now, I wrote a post on my blog called Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. I wrote it at a point of extreme frustration and despair, frankly, after a few years of attempting to try and talk to white people about race and just really getting nowhere.
But damn, Rennie, we need you now. We need you to tell us what's going on, because just this morning at CNN, they did a big story about Congressman Jason Lewis out of Minneapolis. They said he was a very, very, very bad person because he said some of the things that we say on this channel all the time, and they pulled up an interview from 6 years ago where he and I were talking on the radio. He was a talk show host guy then. And I said, listen, this black criminality is wildly out of proportion. Gave lots and lots of examples of it in his hometown of Minneapolis. And that made him a bad person, but all the rest of us are going, well, okay, let's just say for a minute that congressman and I are really, 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 really bad people. But what about this level of black criminality in Minneapolis, Detroit, Chicago, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, Boston, Wilmington, Camden, Trenton, Pittsburgh? Do I need to go on and on and on? I can do a little magical mystery tour. Kansas City, St. Louis. What about Dallas and Houston? We're doing stories on these places all the time. What about Seattle? What about Portland? What about San Francisco? Do you get the point that black criminality is wildly out of proportion all over this damn country? And now this woman says, well, I'm not talking to you. Then CNN says, yeah, we'll talk to you, but we'll just tell you the wrong thing. Then D.L. Hughley gets on CNN with The View, and he says, oh, yeah, everybody's got it all wrong. It's white people who are committing the violence against black people. It's white criminality that's hurting black people, not the other way around. Everybody just kept clapping and clapping and clapping and clapping for that. But every time we hear these fairy tales, you know, all we got to do is bring up some clips, some stories, some videos, some 911 calls, police reports, victims, witnesses. And all we do is say, where's the white on black criminality? Why is the black criminality against white, young, old, gay, straight, Chinese, Asian, Eskimo, Indian, Amish, kitties, puppies, turtles, and goldfish? Why is that so high? Why don't we see white people doing the same thing? Why? Nobody ever answers that question. They're too busy, like D.L. Hughley, going out there and explaining to everybody that white people are dangerous to black people, because the new theme now is that white people are calling the police way too much on black people when they break the law. And at a minimum, we have to say the people who call the police on black people, the white people who call police on black people, they're not watching this channel, because we've been saying for over a year that crime is the new black entitlement. I guess they didn't get the memo. Why don't we do a few recent examples of some really nasty black criminality, murder, and violence against old people, and young people, all kinds of people. And let's see how that fits in with D.L. Hughley and that other author's chick whom I pretended I knew who she was, but I really don't remember her name at this moment. Here's out in Henderson, Nevada, basically a lost suburb of Las Vegas. I don't know why the audio doesn't work on this. But Mr. Vernon McClellan Jr. went into the home of an 84-year-old woman and killed her. I mean, do you want more? I mean, do you want excuses? Do you want solutions? Do you want causes? Is that going to change anything? Or is that just going to divert our attention from the ridiculous level of black criminality against old people? Here's something we see every day as well. We see black on white criminality. And maybe this white kid that got killed, maybe he was buying drugs or something. Maybe he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know. All I know, there's a lot of people buying drugs in this country. There's a lot of people in the wrong place at the wrong time. But it's the white people who end up dead and the black people who end up holding the guns.
In a 3 on Your Side exclusive interview, Hope Hancock tells us her family is still trying to come to grips with the death of Aaron Hancock.
We were so close. I mean, I talked to him every day, seen him 3 or 4 times a week. I mean, he was my baby.
Hope Hancock is understandably devastated over the loss of her son, 27-year-old Aaron Hancock. He was found shot to death in the 1300 block of Bailey Avenue Sunday night, July 8th. She says Aaron's girlfriend was with him when the pair picked up a man police identify only as Lil G at another Bailey Avenue location and drove him to a nearby abandoned property where Aaron was shot.
His girlfriend is distraught. She don't even know how she's gonna go on living me either. I mean, whoever did this little G took a part of me I can never get back. And I want justice for Aaron. And it just kills me that she said that he was screaming. I mean, I don't know how long it went on before he took his last breath in pain. Because something so stupid.
Her son's car, this green Toyota Scion, has now been recovered, but the person believed to be the trigger man, Lil G, is still out there.
And I just want him off the street because it's going to happen to another child, another mother. I mean, it's not just him. He's hurt our whole family.
Are searching for a man who shoved an 84-year-old woman to the ground in Hell's Kitchen and yelled a racial slur at her. Officers say this is a picture of the suspect. Investigators say he attacked the woman back on July 11th near the corner of 9th Avenue and 43rd Street. The woman suffered bruises and cuts to her knee and elbow.
A search is underway for the robbers who terrorized an elderly woman in her West Philadelphia home. The victim tells police the 2 men took cash and some of her belongings, and she adds the frightening ordeal did not end there. Action News reporter Catherine Scott is live at Southwest Detectives this morning with the very latest. Catherine.
Matt, the victim is 82 years old. She's lived in that neighborhood for decades, and police say she is very shaken up. They're looking for tips to try to track down the 2 men responsible. Let's go to video from West Philadelphia. You can see that police were on the scene last night. This happened on the 6000 block of Sansom Street. 8:40 last night, the 82-year-old woman was home by herself. She was up in her bedroom when she heard some noise. Police say that's when 2 males came upstairs to her room. One was thin, the other heavy. They both had white towels on their heads. They took a keyboard, which they put in a black trash bag. They stole $160 cash and her cell phone. And at one point, police say they inappropriately touched the woman. She asked them to stop, and they did. She's being interviewed by the Special Victims Unit. Police are trying to find more details about the suspects.
How many of these do you want to see? I mean, these were all new. These were all recent. How many? You're probably as sick as... I know that people that watch these videos, they don't like seeing these stories of intense violence and denial. It really kind of gets them down. I get that. But we have to keep telling the truth about this because the lie is doing way too much damage. Even if telling the truth about black criminality to the clowns like that author, the clowns like D.L. Hughley, to the clowns at CNN, even if telling the truth does make the black kids angry.